everyone. Hope everyone's having an amazing day today. Last class of the day, so let's finish strong now. Alright, so remember for the lesson, we're going to keep on splitting it up with the teachers. So I'm going to start it off, and then we're going to move to Miss Perry, then Miss Leon, and then Coach Carell. Alright? They're going to go further in depth with what they need to speak about. So let's get this lesson started. Real quick reminder of our stop and go signals. Stop meaning let's place the ball in between our feet, and go meaning let's get the activity started. Alright, so today we're going to go more in depth about group defending in a team setting. I'm going to be starting off with first defender and what first defender is meant to do. Now, we're going to speak about the purpose of defending. Now, defending in soccer the objective is to make the space for the opposition more difficult for them to create a goal scoring chance. Now, for that to be effective for the defense, for them to not have the opposition create a goal scoring chance, is by having pressure, by creating pressure, having cover, and balance as a team. Okay? Now that is normally done in a flat four defense, and flat four doesn't necessarily mean a whole straight line. It's a bit of it kind of looks like staggered, I would say, like so. And that's what's typically asked from the defense. Like, let's lessen the chance of the opposition from scoring. Alright. Now, there are types of defenses in soccer, as in every other sport. Soccer has zone defense and man defense. Now, they are both alternatives to one another. So, you can choose to play man or you can choose to play zone. Now, it depends on the game and it depends on the style of play. Zone defense is a defense that utilizes sections or spaces where you are meant to cover. So think of it as like this. So in zone defense, your left back is going to have one section, your two center backs another section, and your right back another section. But when I say they have a section, we shouldn't take that as literal, in a literal sense. So say the ball is way over to the right side and your left back is over here. Now if you have two people over there with the ball next to them, the left back isn't only going to cover two people. Now when we play zone, that means everyone has to move down a section. We still have to have balance among the team. Okay? Let me erase these lines for you. Now, in a man-to-man defense, man-to-man is mostly used in free kicks and corner kicks. Now, man-to-man, the objective is to keep the defender right in front of you. You don't want them to get behind you. Now, when I say it's mostly used for free kicks and corner kicks, we mostly use man-to-man because on free kicks and corner kicks, you are put in a very compact situation. As so, it's very compact. In zone defense, you have a whole field to cover. Now, for me personally, I like playing zone defense. It's easier to follow, and everyone has a section to cover, and it's very understandable. Now, man-to-man is good, but man-to-man isn't a defense that you play for an entire 90 minutes. Man-to-man is mostly used for certain situations like the free kicks and corner kicks. Okay? Now, the first defender. Does anyone have an idea what the first defender might be? Anyone? No? Alright. So, the first defender is the person who delivers pressure. Now, when delivering pressure, the main purpose of that is to move the opposition in a way where your other defenders that are creating cover and balance can create up a strategy to intercept the ball away from the opposition. Now, the first defender has 3 components. They have the approach, the delay, and control. Now, those all come together in the group setting, in the group defending. So, let's discuss about the approach. Now, the approach is how we are going to come to the opposition, the attacker. How are we going to get to them? Now, when you approach someone, the defender, we don't want to go full 100% straight at them. Because if you go full 100%, the attacker has the choice to cut left, cut right, or move the ball right behind them and pass it back. Now, that's why the approach is very important. So, quick demonstration at my cone. Now, when we're going towards the approach, you always want to anticipate where the attacker might move. Now, we don't want to come 100%, go straight past them. We want to remember about our athletic stance. Remember, keeping those knees bent and being a little bit staggered and ready to move either way. The approach. Okay? Alright. Now, we're going to move on to our activity. Our activity is going to be just like so, real quick. The white 2 pins are the cones. Everyone's going to the white 2 pins are the goalposts. Everyone's going to line up right behind the goalposts. Alright? Everyone lines up behind the goalposts. We're going to have 2 offensive players outside the goal box. So, real quickly, here's the goal box. We're going to have 2 offensive players right outside of it. Defensive players, they are going to hold a ball. Each have a ball. Now the defensive players are going to pass the ball to the offensive player, and they're going to come with a good approach, just like we just demonstrated and just showed right now. So, defensive player passes the ball to the offensive player. Offensive player, we still want to work on your skills, all right? So let's not keep that out of mind. We want to control the ball and watch the defensive player come to us, all right? We still work on our skills, still fine-tune everything, all right? So, defensive player, pass the ball to the offensive player. Defensive player, work on your approach and how you come at them, all right? You always want to start stopping around 5 to 8 steps, reaching them, okay? They want to be about 2 to 3 feet in front of you, arm's distance, I would say, away from the opposition, all right? Once you pass the ball, offensive player, pass the ball back to whoever is next in line, next to the goalpost. Defensive player is now offensive player, and then we switch, all right? Okay. Okay. Everyone, let's go. Let's get to this activity. All right. Now, what I'm seeing out there is, a couple of you are moving a bit 100% right past the attacker, and that's completely fine. We're still working on it. We're still practicing. Yes, this is a little warm up into the whole group setting of group defending. But remember, let's make a subtle approach. We don't want to go 100% straight past the player. We want to pass it and approach with confidence. Okay? All right. Good. All right, everyone, let's bring it in. Let's go. Let's get ready for the next lesson we're about to have. Balls in between your feet, please. Soccer balls in between your feet. Alright. Now that we finished the activity approach of defending, we're going to discuss about the delay and the control. Two components of the first defender. And can I get a quick reminder? Can the first defender be anyone on the pitch? Anyone who's close to the ball? Anyone? Alright, so yeah, the first defender can be anyone who is closest to the ball. So if the ball is way left to the left midfielder, and that means the right back, since he is the closest, or he or she is closest to the ball, that means they are first defender. Alright? Now, how about over here? Who is the first defender? Yes, center back. First defender, remember we always have to create balance and cover. Okay? What about now? The ball's over here on the right side. Who is first defender? Yes, person closest to the ball. Right here. First defender. We have cover and we have balance. Okay? Good job. Now, knowing who is the first defender, we got to take into consideration our delay and our control. Now, in the previous activity, the approach of defending, what seemed more important? What were we doing that we kept on blowing right past the person? Yes, we were not delaying. So the delay is an important component to consider as the first defender. The delay, we have to consider if the opposition might pass to the right, they might pass to the left, or they might pull it back. The delay gives us time to gather ourselves before reaching the opposition. Real quickly, watch me. I'm approaching and then I'm delaying. I'm not coming full 100% towards the ball. I'm approaching and then I'm waiting. I'm waiting where they might go. Alright? Now, once you have the approach and the delay, we have to take into consideration control. Does anyone have an answer what they think control might be? No? Okay, so control is important because that is something where us as the defenders, we have the choice. If we give a good pressure, we have the choice to move the offensive player wherever we want them to go. So control is a strategy, you can think of it as. We want to move the opposition either out of bounds, we want to control them to move out of bounds, or control them to use their weak foot. So they don't have their dominant foot to use to be able to pass it, to do anything with it. So once we control them, that gives enough time for our teammates, because it is group defending, for our teammates to gather themselves and be able to intercept the ball so we can have it in our hands now. Or at our feet, excuse me. So, with the control, we use that to maneuver our opponents wherever we want them to go. Alright? Okay. Now, what is mostly asked from the first defender? Anyone have an opinion? Because there is one component that I left out. So there's 4 components of the first defender, yet I left out one because it's just not mostly used. Does anyone have an opinion? Oh, soccer fan right there? Alright. What is it? Yes. Slide tackling. Slide tackling is something that the first defender shouldn't really consider doing unless they are the last person, and then your last call is to slide tackle, and try to win that ball back. Now, the first defender isn't asked to slide tackle mostly because their main components is to approach, delay, and control. That gives us time to gather ourselves. If we just if we slide tackle straight through, that gives the opposition a 50-50 chance to be able to win the ball and keep on going straight forward. If we slide tackle and move straight past them, that gives them all this space to work with right here. Okay? That means we leave our teammates alone, 3 people versus 4. Now, if we simply just give pressure, that gives our team balance and control, and it gives the second defender a chance to try to intercept the ball. We are there as a group and we're there as a team, not as an individual on the field. Okay? Now, for us to work on our first defending, on our first defender, we are going to do a drill where it's a 4v4 drill. We're gonna have one goal with one keeper. Whoever wants to play goalie, whoever finds that position the most fun. I mean, personally, that's my position, so you're probably gonna have to beat me for it. But we're gonna have a 4v4 with one ball. I'm gonna be passing in the soccer ball, and the red team, red pennies, are gonna be defense. Blue pennies are gonna be offense, and we're gonna be switching. Okay, we're gonna be rotating in. All right. So the purpose of this game is to recognize who is first defender. So I'm going to pass the ball to the offensive team. Offensive team is going to try to keep the ball away. They're going to try to keep the ball away before whoever is first defender yells out first defender. Okay? So say I pass the ball way right. Our left back approaches. They give the pressure. They give the appropriate approach, delay, and control. They take the ball away, and they're yelling first. First as in first defender. Alright? This gives us time to warm up into this drill. Now, Coach Carell is going to do one a little more complicated than this version, and you guys will do a lot better from here. I swear you guys will. So, let's get to it. Let's start the drill, and let's see how it goes. Alright? Alright, so I'm seeing some good things out there. I'm seeing a couple people. I see the offensive team is passing from one to the other, yet our defensive team is having a hard time getting to the offensive player. Remember, as defense, we have to be able to anticipate where they might go, where they might move. So let's approach them, delay them, and control. Alright? Okay. Alright, everyone, let's bring it in. Stop, bring it in. Slip the ball between our feet. We're coming close to the end of our practice, end of our lesson, and remember, I was about to say goodbye, but we're passing it on the lesson to Ms. Perry, and she'll be teaching you guys next. Just a couple questions that I want to review with you all. What is the main purpose of defending? Yes, main purpose is to decrease the chance for the opposition to score a goal and to give a chance ball to their team. Now, what are the 3 components of the first defender? Yes, approach, delay, and control. And I guess sometimes we could add in slide tackle every now and then, but for us in PE, we are not going to slide tackle. That is not allowed, all right? We don't want to get anyone hurt. So that brings us to the end of our lesson. Let's head on to Miss Perry, and she's going to teach you all more about soccer. All right, good job, everyone.